Hello, my name is Keith Barker, and on behalf of the entire CBT Nuggets family, I'd like to personally welcome you to IPv6. Let's begin. I just finished this series on IP version 6, and you might be thinking, well, that's great, Keith. I'm so glad you went through it. But I finished the actual creation of the IP version 6 series today, and I wanted to spend a few minutes with you one-on-one right now to chat about a few things that'll be helpful for you. Number one, who's going to get the most benefit out of this series? Is it right for you? Is it going to help you? What's covered exactly, and how to actually leverage what's in this course and the tools I've provided to get the absolute biggest bang for the buck. Let's tackle this one first. Let's say our boss walks in and calls us over to their office and tells us, hey, guess what? I just got the news. We're going to roll out IPv6. We've been mandated to do it, and we've got to roll it out within the next 6 months. My friend, anybody who's about to roll out within the next few months or years, who's going to roll out IPv6, this series is definitely going to benefit with a no-nonsense approach to here's how it works, here's how to configure it, here's how to verify it, and I encourage you to do hands-on with me every step of the way. Another scenario, maybe you're just doing a rollout of a pilot program where you want to set up a test lab and you want to set up the routing protocols and fault tolerance and security, and you just want to test it all out. That's another person who would benefit greatly from this course. Here's another example of a time that we could absolutely benefit from this material. Let's say that you and I work for a small company or a medium-sized company, and it gets consumed or merged with a bigger company. And as we learn about this bigger company, we learn that they already have IPv6 in place, and we are expected to have an understanding of IPv6, and we need that understanding in a hurry. That would be another time when this series would be perfect for that situation. Another scenario, we may be in a company where we want to upgrade our position inside of that company. And so we're looking for, maybe we're at the help desk, we're looking for a network technician position, but we know that they're expecting some level of knowledge. And part of that's definitely today going to be IPv6 knowledge. So that would be another time when we could leverage this nugget to not only get the understanding of how it works, but also some hands-on practice through labs that I'm going to encourage you to do as we continue this together. And that'll allow you to get the practical skills of actually implementing, testing, and verifying that the IPv6 configurations that you've put in are actually working. Let's say we're a service provider, the U&I Corporation, and we have this service provider network. It's an IP version core backbone, yet we have customers that are starting to demand more and more IPv6 services. Maybe they want services like layer 3 VPNs or pseudo wires, or they want IPv6 connectivity right at the perimeter. We need to deliver that if we're a service provider. And that would be yet another example of when this series would be very, very beneficial. And let's not forget people who are pursuing certification. Let's say you and I are pursuing some type of a certification, either with Cisco or Juniper or Hewlett-Packard. The knowledge that we gain about IPv6 in this series is going to be valuable for all of those. The next thing I'd like to chat with you about is the decision process I went through when trying to decide which of the topics I'd like to cover in this series. And there's a whole bunch of them that we had to choose from, right? So I thought, we definitely want to cover like the building blocks, the fundamental, the meat and potatoes of IPv6. I mean, how does it work? How does neighbor discovery protocol really operate? What do I need to know? How do the router advertisements affect things like stateless autoconfig and stateless DHCP? So these core elements, I knew they really have to be there. So they are all definitely in the series. And then I thought there's some other really cool features that we could add on top of a basic network to make it better, including some things like a first hop redundancy protocol, like HSRP or Gateway Load Balancing Protocol, that also are available for IPv6. And there's a whole world of multicast routing, which just blows my mind. It has been great in IPv4 for so many years, and IPv6 supports. So I thought, well, that would be nice too to include. And I thought, from a security perspective, I can't just leave off security. We also want to cover some security. So there's zone-based firewalls and the older context-based access control. But I thought they're both important because you may have an environment where it just needs a simple inspection for stateful flow of traffic, and we don't need the full power of zone-based firewalls, including setting up basics like secure shell for secure remote management and access control lists for filtering. And then as my mind went a little further, I thought, well, what about the service providers? What about the bigger environments? They're going to want to do route summarization. They're going to want to run Border Gateway Protocol, BGP, either peering with IP version 4 or peering with IP version 6, and doing prefix delegation to hand out blocks of addresses to their clients. And then as a final thought, I thought, you know what? For the service provider network, we have tunnel brokers that are out there. We have tunneling over networks. We have 6 to 4 tunnels inside of a company and GRE tunnels that can go anywhere IPv4 can. And then there's also this whole world of MPLS, like multi-protocol label switching, and the applications that MPLS allows over an IP version 4 core. Things like Atom, any transport over MPLS, and layer 3 VPNs, such as 6VPE. So I had a decision to make. It's like, okay, which ones of these do I cover in the series? Which are the most important and which do I not cover? And the answer is, I covered all of them. Every single one of these topics I put in the series. So here's what we're going to do, you and I. We're going to start out with the fundamentals together, and then we're going to build on it. Every single video, every single nugget we do together, we're going to be adding additional new knowledge and content, and that's going to build. So I really would strongly encourage you to start at this video, which you're at right now, and then the next video, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one, all the way up. Don't skip. I would recommend strongly that you not skip. Now, there are some exceptions. If you've been working with IPv6 for quite a while and you're comfortable with it, and maybe you're going to be adding some new feature to your network, for example, maybe some layer 3 VPN solution, or perhaps you're going to implement zone-based firewalls, then you could just go right to that video. But if you have the opportunity, I would strongly recommend that you take every video in order together, because that's how I created them, as if you and I were sitting right next to each other, side by side, going through this content, one logical nugget after the other. Now let's take a moment and identify how you and I can squeeze every last drop of juice out of this IPv6 series. It really boils down to 2 basic things. Number 1, find the time to watch the videos, and we're going to have a blast. Every single video we do is going to be fun. You and I going through the technologies together, it's going to be fun. And secondly, I would like to invite you to practice. Practice virtually everything. Now, in the early steps, we take a look at the basics of the basic IPv6 addressing and so forth. Those are going to be fairly simple configurations, maybe a couple routers, a couple interfaces. For the more complex labs, like the MPLS Layer 3 VPNs, actually for more than half of these nuggets, I've actually got the topology diagram, the startup configs for the routers, and the actual commands I used in that nugget, all waiting for you that you can download in the Nugget Lab download area. So my encouragement is to watch the video, make sure you're comfortable with the concepts, then watch the video again and pause it the second time as you go through while you configure it on your own, which brings me up to another point. What kind of gear should you use? Well, this course was built based on Cisco iOS, so I would recommend strongly that you practice with Cisco iOS. Now, whether you're using live hardware or a simulator or an emulator, as long as your iOS device supports the commands for IPv6 and the other surrounding technologies, you'll be absolutely fine. Now, for many people who are using GNS3, you already know. If you're using GNS3 successfully, you already know how awesome that is. You can just dynamically build topologies, throw routers in, change connections, and it's fantastic. If you are not a GNS3 user but want to be, here's what I would recommend. Do not do that on your own. Don't just start throwing in GNS3 and having issues and then giving up on it. What happens to a lot of people, there's a GNS3 series that CBT Nuggets offers that I created where I step you through piece by piece on how to get GNS3 up, running, singing, dancing, and doing virtually anything you need it to do. So I walk you through that step by step in the GNS3 series. So if you're not yet a GNS3 user and you would very much like to have a virtualized environment to practice your Cisco iOS router commands, I would strongly encourage you to check out that series as well. I was chatting with a longtime friend last week, and he said, you know, Keith, I was watching one of your series, and you mentioned that I could download these supporting files, like the topology diagram, the startup configs, the commands you ran in the class, from the Nugget Lab download area, and I, for the life of me, couldn't find it. So I wanted to make sure that, first of all, if he had that challenge, I'm sure it's faced a lot of other people, so I wanted to share with you where that is located. So from the CBT Nuggets homepage, when you've logged in, it'll have your name right there. You click on this little gear icon. That will open this drop-down menu, and then it has a link for Nugget Lab. From there, you would go ahead and download the files for the IPv6 series. And what you can expect when you go to the Nugget Lab and you download the IPv6 additional content, I'm going to have, I'd say, probably 3/4 of all these videos. I've got the pre-configs waiting for you. I've got the actual commands used in class, and I've also got the topology diagram. And if I used a capture file, like a protocol analyzer in class, I also put that protocol analysis in that Nugget Lab download area as well. And that way I'm encouraging you to please, please, please lab this up as you watch me do it and get that hands-on practice that's going to propel you to the top of your field as you continue honing your skills. This is just one of the many topologies that you and I are going to be building together as we go through this series together. I am super excited about spending this time with you. I hope this has been informative for you, and I'd like to thank you for viewing.